Topaz Photo AI. Today I want to show you how to batch process RAW files using Lightroom. Stay tuned. Hello everyone and welcome to the Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly. Today I want to show you how to batch process RAW files using the early access version of Topaz Photo AI. There's been a lot of questions and comments in the last videos I've made about batch processing, and I thought I would address that today. In case you didn't know, the image quality bundle is on sale right now. It's on sale for $159.99. That's a $99.98 savings. That sale goes on till August 12th, but you can use my promo code David Kelly and save an additional 15% off, which is a good savings, and you'll get early access to Photo AI. The last video I made was about Topaz Photo AI, and I'll link it at the end of this video. It'll explain to you how to get your copy, your early access copy of Topaz Photo AI. So if you don't know how to do it, watch that video. It will be linked at the end of this video. I've had a lot of comments in the last two Photo AI videos about batch processing. Can you do it? And the answer is yes. You can use the standalone app to do it, or you could use Lightroom Classic. I'm going to show you how to do it using Lightroom Classic. This is my workflow. It's very simple to do, and I will show you how to do it today. I have these 6 RAW files. Now, I'm going to give you a little background behind them. Right now, they're all selected. So let me go into Develop. And as you can see, I have no adjustments on them. I have detail shut off. I do have lens corrections applied to these images, but that is it. Now, I want to say this: when you send any RAW file into any of the Topaz products like Denoise AI, Sharpen AI, or Photo AI, it doesn't matter if you have adjustments here, it'll disregard those adjustments and send that plain RAW file right into Photo AI. Now, the reason I have a linear profile on here is because I work with linear profiles and I just want to compare the result that comes back from Photo AI. When you get a result back from any of the Topaz products, it will not apply any profiles to them. You're basically seeing the raw image, and it's going to look like this linear profile. So I'm just putting this linear profile on these images so we can make a true comparison. If I had the Adobe Color profile on here, it would look like this, which would not give us a good representation of what would be coming back from Photo AI, which would be an image without a profile on it. So that's why I put this linear profile on it. And I love working with linear profiles. I think it gives you a lot more control over your editing process. So I'm sold on the fact that linear profiles do help us with our editing process. And I'll link in the description below the video how to get a free linear profile from Tony Kuiper, the maker of the TK8 plugin for Photoshop, which I highly recommend. When I export these images to Photo AI, this linear profile will not be added, neither will these lens corrections be added. But I'm only using the linear profile to compare the result because the image that comes back from Photo AI will not have a profile applied to it, and this linear profile will look pretty much just like that. Removing noise from your image and sharpening your image is probably the key step to all editing processes. So I would say you would want to start your editing journey right here. I'm working on a Mac, but I'm sure this process would be very similar on a Windows machine, because I believe you can do drag and dropping on a Windows machine just like you can on a Mac. Let me show you how fast Photo AI will speed up your Lightroom workflow, especially if you're working with RAW files at the RAW level. I went ahead and selected all of my images. Now I'm going to show you a super fast way of doing this. Click on the end image here, or any one of the images. You can click any one of these images here, and you notice they all come up in a group like that. You see that? Now my dock is at the bottom of my screen, and I have auto hiding on. So if I drag down here, you'll see my dock, and you see that green Photo AI icon right there. All I have to do is hover over it, and see it says Topaz Photo AI. Just release the left click of my mouse. It'll launch Topaz Photo AI, and all those images go right in, and you can see them all right down here. Now that first image, it's doing its assessment. It's scanning the image. It's going to determine if it needs sharpening, denoising, or both, and it's going to take care of everything. And you'll notice up here, it says subject detected, and if I hover over the subject, you can see there's the flowers detected. No faces were detected. Image contains raw photo data. Subject is in focus. Image noise level is medium. it defaults using the autopilot settings. You can see it's only using the raw remove noise. And if I click this, you can see how much it's using, okay? Now, if you come down here to the film strip, if I hover over this image that's selected right now, it's showing me that it's using 11% on that slider. And that would be this slider right here, okay? And these other images are already done. See, it says autopilot, autopilot, the whole way across there. So this is how quick it is. I click Save Images to External Editor, and I'm done. Now, can you go ahead and tweak things and change things? And I know masking is coming. It's not here yet. And also, when it sends this image back, I made a note at the beginning of the video, but right now the DNG is not working for the output. That's coming, so don't worry about that. But right now it's going to send it back as a TIFF. But these things are coming. Remember, we're in an early access version here. When you make some tests and things and you find out, you know what, that autopilot setting works really well, and I'm finding it works exceptional. And for me, for the most part, I'm happy with the autopilot setting. So in my test today, I'm just going to hit save all 6 images and I'll show you the results. But you could come in here and you might say, well, I want more sharpening. So you can come in here to sharpen and you can say, I'm going to try lens blur. I'm going to try motion blur. And then say it's lens blur and we want to increase that strength. We can go ahead and increase that strength. And you'll see here in a second, it'll get sharper. See how much sharper it got, but that's not good. And it did a great job. So I'm doing the autopilot settings. So all you have to do is come back here and reset autopilot settings and you're back. But you can do, you can work with face recovery if you have faces. You can add more noise reduction or less. You can totally go on each image and tweak them. But again, like I said, if you're generally happy with the autopilot settings, you might just want to hit save your 6 images right back, or however many images you want. And I'll show you what to do once we get back into Lightroom to get these images into Lightroom, because they won't be there right away, but I'll show you how fast and easy it is to get them there. And it might just blow your mind. Remember, I'm working with RAW files, but if you just send images right out of Lightroom into here, it'll go right back in and they will be right there in Lightroom for you. But with RAW, it's a little different, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, again, we can click on each one of these images and give them a second to update and see, scan around them and see if everything's good. But again, if you're having great results, which I have been, you may say, I'm going to forgo that and I'm going to go right back into Lightroom. So all we would need to do is click Save 6 Images, and you'll see they're batch processing out. I'm going to leave this in real time, but you'll notice they're going back as TIFFs because the raw export is not there yet, but that should be coming hopefully before the release date, and I'm sure it will be, but who knows? I'm just surmising. But if I know Topaz, I'm pretty sure they're going to have that all ready for us. It's doing a really good job. So let's let this go ahead and process out here. You can go ahead and speed the video up if you don't want to wait for this. But as you can see, it's pretty darn fast. And I'm working with an iMac, and I'll put a screenshot up of the information on my particular computer so you can really see, maybe compare what kind of results you'll get, because mileage will vary depending on computer to computer. But it's almost done, and you could cancel the processing at this step if you wanted to as well. But now I'm back in Lightroom, but you'll notice the images aren't there. But don't be alarmed. I'll show you how to take care of that. If you'll notice I'm still in Develop, just click on Library, and there's my 6 images. And take notice that this folder is highlighted Topaz Photo AI Raw Workflow. If per some odd chance you don't see a folder highlighted, just right click on any one of the images and click on Go to Folder in Library, and it'll highlight the folder that it's in. Now check this out. This is so super easy in Lightroom. Right click on that folder, and you'll notice you have a bunch of options here, but you'll see an option called Synchronize Folder. All you need to do is click on that, and it'll synchronize your folder. Now, right now, you'll get this dialog. It says, import new photos. There's 6. Scan for metadata updates. Yeah, sure, go ahead. Click synchronize, and they'll come in just like that. And they'll be isolated by themselves, okay? So you can go here and check them out. Now, remember, these are the results that came back from Photo AI. So let me double click on this image, and we can take a look. Let me zoom in to like 400%, and you can see it's sharp. and there's no noise whatsoever. And the areas that are out of focus remain out of focus. Sharpen AI will only focus the areas that are in focus. One of the beautiful things about sharpening with Topaz Sharpen AI and now in Photo AI is it looks at lens blur, motion blur, and if you have a soft image due to a cheap camera lens, it'll sharpen that up as well. When it comes to sharpening and these type of issues I just mentioned, nothing else compares to Topaz products, in my opinion. Let's go ahead and do some side-by-side comparisons. Now remember, we're only seeing the images that I synchronized back to that folder, but we're not seeing them all. But here's what you have to do. Just right-click on any of these images or right in this area here, and just click Go to Folder and Library, and there they are. They're all side-by-side. This right now is the denoised image. So let me click on the first image and click the XY comparison view here. And let me zoom into 400% and let's find an area like right here where it's nice and sharp. Let me go into 800% so you can see the noise on the image on the left, which is the raw file. The image on the right, now remember it's a TIFF, but the DNG raw file will be coming in a future update. It's not here yet. But this image was shot at ISO 800 on a Canon 40D, an older Canon camera, a very good camera. It was never known for having low noise in its raw files. But as you can see, the image on the right is nice and sharp. The image on the left looks pretty good, but it has a lot of noise in it. Okay, so let's examine some of these other images. This is another 800 ISO image, and you can see the noise floor on here. But let me go to an area in here where we can see some focus. But look at all that noise, all that color noise, and the noise is removed right here. And the areas that should be sharp are sharp. Now again, I'm zoomed way in here, so let me zoom back out to about like 300% so we can really take a look and see. And again, the areas that should be sharp and in focus are, the areas that aren't are out of focus, which that is part of the beauty of the Sharpen AI product, and now in Photo AI. Does a really great job of knowing what should and shouldn't be in focus. I'm not saying it gets it always 100% right, but I would say like 98% of the time it does. Let's take a look at another image. We can look at the side-by-side comparisons and compare the sharpness over here to the sharpness over here. Okay, but you can see the noise floor here. That's ISO 1600. So let me zoom into 800% so you can really see the noise. You can really see that noise in here, but over here it's removed. Now remember, I used Photo AI. I took these images right into Topaz Photo AI. I decided on using the auto settings with the autopilot and then just save them out. And let's click on another image here, but you get the drift. They're all working really well. Now remember, I told you at the get-go that I put a linear profile in the raw file so I could look at the linear result that I was getting back from Topaz Photo AI. I'm going to experiment. I may not even need to use like a linear profile. I could probably just start my editing process right here. Now let me get out of this XY comparison view here. So at this point, right now this is a TIFF file, right? But it will be a DNG in the future. But I could just come right here, and my normal editing process is after I've denoised and sharpened my image, I click on auto, and then I start my editing process. And it's just like that. Now, I want to say this. For my camera, Topaz doesn't work with profiles. It's an older Canon. But the way I understand it, a lot of the newer cameras, you can still work with your profiles. My camera, I can't. And that's why I don't really use the raw editing process. But I may start doing that now that I see that I get a really nice linear result that comes back from Photo AI into Photoshop. So in the future, I'm going to rethink my workflow. Instead of using a linear profile, I may just use the image just the way it comes back to me from Photo AI. If you have a newer camera that can still work with profiles after your result comes back from Photo AI, then I would recommend that you do that. If you don't, then you could do my editing process where I just take a TIFF out of Lightroom and then denoise there, and I have great results doing it that way. Or you could do what I'm going to try, and that is send your image out as a raw file, bring it back as a raw file, and then just work on it from the linear starting point, which I think is a great way of doing it. Well, there you go, everyone. Yes, you can batch process using Topaz Photo AI, and you can batch process raw files if you would like that as well. If you enjoyed today's tutorial, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and if you're not yet a subscriber to this channel, please subscribe, click that bell notification icon, and then every time I upload a new tutorial, you'll be notified. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today in the Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly. I'll see you all right here next time, but until then, happy editing!